So I forgot to unmute my mic. Now I'm going back to this. So I recorded this 3 times. I thought this time was pretty concise. It took me about 8 minutes to record this entire clip that I actually cut down to 6 minutes almost for the clip. Now, I'm also going to voice over it because I still feel like I took a little bit too long and I talked a little bit too much. So one thing I did is I moved the mic closer to me. Hopefully that helps with sound quality. I moved it away from my computer, which is probably what's making a buzzing noise with the fans. I turned off my AC while I'm recording my audio, which also could have been the reason for the buzzing noise. And why do I have the gear that I have? Is because I was trading with villagers. And I got masterwork of every single villager, a toorsmith, weaponsmith, and armorer, or in the village. It used up a lot of iron and coal I had. As you can see, the equipment is pretty good. It's not the best. I ended up putting Fortune 3 on my pickaxe. If you were paying attention, you might have saw that a little bit earlier. And I even killed some illagers and got an ominous bottle that I'll be showing here in a sec. Now, what I realized is Impulse SV, he kind of beat me to the punch, and he ended up getting a villager with every single book, which was kind of one of the plans I had, because I kind of wanted to try and one-up him. Now, I also know what I want to do with this house. So, I'm not going to do the mine anymore, like I originally thought I was going to, where that was going to be my base. Instead, I'm going to actually have this be my starter base, and actually have down there probably be my mega base. So, I want this one to probably be my nether portal, that one to be my enchanting setup, because it has what I called an enchanting view. This one's just going to be cosmetic. It's just going to have some stuff on it. In the lore, the crane is pulling the stuff and putting the stuff up there. So, yeah, it's definitely not because I made way more than I needed. This one is going to be my survivor area. It's going to have like ender chest, bed, maybe a little bit of storage, crafting table, furnaces, you name it. This one's going to be like the survival place. We have this one, which I'm going to probably make into a storage unit. This one, which I'm going to make into some farms and stuff. And I'm planning on also having a platform underneath this platform that I'm also going to do more farms and stuff. And I'm also probably going to have mining underneath it too. So we'll see about that. Hole. Yeah, here I'm showing where I'm going to have the next platform. And I also want to finish this base in this episode. Now, since this is me recording it after the fact, I do end up finishing the base, don't worry. I'm not going to not finish the base, which I honestly thought might happen. So I decided to actually get it done before anything. Anyways, here's the villagers, and I'm talking about Impulse's books at this point, but instead we're going to talk a little bit more. So, I'm not really going to show mining on camera as much, and I also want to talk about the jump cuts. So, I realized watching my last video that it was like, oh wow, here's a little spot, boom, jump cut, there's a hole, boom, jump cut, here's a crane, boom, jump cut, and there's the entire base, kind of thing. So, instead what I'm going to have is more like gradual jump cuts, where it's like a jump cut during the progress, instead of just one jump cut that gets from beginning to end. I'm also going to hopefully know what I'm going to say during clips before I start talking or recording. So hopefully I ramble a little bit less. That's kind of why I have a notebook in front of me right now, so I hopefully get all of this done. I'm not really going to mine on camera because I'm pretty sure everybody's seen mining. It's not the most interesting thing, so I'm going to just kind of cut all of that out. And the last thing I want to talk about is actually blaze rods. So, kind of a fun little fact I want to say is blaze rods are really much better than a lot of people think they are. And if you didn't know, here's a fun fact. Blaze rods smelt 12 items. Each blaze rod. Now, admittedly, it's a slightly expensive early game, but when you come late game, if you have like something like a blaze spawner as your XP farm, because you're not bothered enough to make an Enderman one, a blaze rod can smelt so many items, it's 50% more items than coal. And it's renewable. And you get so much experience from killing blazes too, that it's honestly just, I don't know why people always talk about coal. Just get blaze rods, honestly. Other than that, I guess let's get into the video. Oh wait, yeah, one last thing is I wanted to get obsidian. I want to make the nether portal at their spawn, and I want to make the nether portal at my area, so that way I can link myself to the Hermitcraft spawn. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next clip. Now, if you guys saw the original series, you would remember when you're on the highest difficulty, spiders can spawn with effects. And I was talking about invisible spiders, where here is what an invisible spider looks like. So, yeah. Just, I guess, keep your mind out. Actually, probably one of the least scary mobs in Minecraft can be invisible. So, as I'm heading to the caves to find lava, found some diamonds. I'm definitely going to pick up all of this iron along the way, because once again, I did use kind of a bit of it. Ooh, ouch. So, yeah, I'll be back when I have the obsidian. So, I ended up mining for a little bit longer than I thought I was going to, so we'll just go do a quick resource check. And, yeah, now we have over a stack of iron blocks. So we should be good enough until I finally actually make the grinder for the iron golems. And we got some diamonds, we're going to stash the emeralds in here, we're going to throw the iron in here, and we also have over a stack of blocks of lapis, which is nice. We also got 20 obsidian, found a chicken jockey, dropped one of the soups just so that way we can take more of the loot. And I will build said portals, and we will be back in the nether trying to find the fortress. Alright, I'll see you then. Okay, so we just got to the nether. I killed some hoglins since they were bothering me just a little bit. Ooh, my helmet's taking so much damage already. And I found another fortress right here with a blaze spawner right underneath. And I'm not sure if this is the nether fortress for the Hermitcraft server, the one that is at spawn. I see that the loot room's over there, and if you guys don't know how the generation works, so basically you have the loot room, which is behind the lava well room, and that means the lava well room is that way, which would make sense in terms of where I am versus where the Hermitcraft spawn is, which is that way. So I believe this is the fortress, and I'll make the nether portal where they made their nether portal, and we'll see. So I'll be back when I do that. So, fun fact, I slightly forgot the fact that I have 0 feather falling and 0 protection. Which, if you do not know what I was talking about or implying with that, so I kind of jumped down to where the blaze spawner is, right? And without protection, which reduces your damage that you take from falling, and without having oh so equally as good feather falling in this situation, I ended up taking what I can only describe as a lot of fall damage. AKA, I lost about half my health, in which case I ran into some wither skeletons, and the blazes shot me in the back too. So I was on fire, I got withered, and I was already at half health. So that's really, really enjoyable. You know, at this time I'm actually just going to end the pull down. I'm going to go ahead and grab, I don't know, this iron axe. I should be good as long as there's no piglins or hoglins. Okay, I got all my stuff in a nice little hidey hole. I'm not sure if I lost anything. Only thing I would actually be concerned about losing... You know, I realized I had a golden apple now. I probably should have used that. It's probably not in my hotbar, unless of course I am stupid. Doesn't look like I lost anything. There was some fire by my, little thing. Little death area. Yeah, it doesn't even sound like they hit me, and then I just get withered anyways, somehow. I noticed that a lot. Did they change how often mobs can actually hit you? Because I've noticed ever since 1.21, point whatever this is now, whatever number we're on, the most recent update, they're able to just hit you like so quickly, so many times. It's just like bam, 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 bam. Especially with that baby zombie, if you remember from last video. That baby zombie just like hit me twice in a row, just comboed me. I'm not trying to play Super Smash. Why is it doing that? Okay, so if I am not mistaken, this is the portal room in Hermitcraft. For Hermitcraft, I should say. Go ahead and take some of the source in. And oh, this is the beginning room. It doesn't have any loot. I believe this makes sense, right? And they built it like right here, I believe was the verdict of the location. Yeah, let's just make it the same 3x3 that they did. No, I'm not sure if they made it 3x3, but I'm making it 3x3. And did. Alright. So now we have everything. Oh, so I should mention that's Green's cave. That's where the bridge would be, roughly about here. Yeah, that is Scar's base. That is Mumbo's base. If we go that way more, we're going to hit the swamp, which is where Decked Out 3 is going to be. So yeah, just for context of everything, and then I believe Impulse's base is like that way. And then I live like near Etho's base. I believe I showed that in the first episode, if I remembered to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to get like some blaze rods, and I'll be back. So I would say, other than dying, that was a pretty successful nether trip. So we got tons of golden nuggets that I'm probably going to make into a bunch of golden carrots, since we are running low at only having 5. So I'm probably going to do that. But first I would need to make a carrot farm, so I guess I'll get onto that off camera. The bigger thing is, I did get a wither skull. And I also realized, because I died, I lost so many levels. I just realized I lost like 47 levels or something like that. So I actually grinded a lot of blaze rods, not just for the blaze rods, but also just to get some of my levels back. So now we got our levels back, we should be all good. Alright, so I went ahead and made a carrot farm. I made a little melon farm over here. I'm not sure if I put that in yet. And I'm deciding to not actually make the big farms over here. I want to put them in the farm area, in there. But I need to build that area first before I can do anything. So actually, way before we even do that, I actually just want to do the villages. I want to make a villager breeder, and I want to try and get an iron farm going here shortly, hopefully. And on top of an iron farm, I also want to try and make the villager trading hall with all of these guys. So instead we're going to actually focus on that and not an automatic melon and pumpkin farm. So yeah, I'll be right back. An automatic one. It took me a little longer than I wished to explain, because it turns out I needed so much freaking cobblestone. It's 6 for every observer. It's another 4 for every single piston. So like this is 10 cobble. Just these 2. Another 10 cobble, another 10 cobble, another 10 cobble. The iron and the redstone doesn't matter at all. And although the note blocks are like 2 logs each, I kid you not, I went through my entire log supply that I had, that I was planning on trading with villagers, just to make all of these. Now admittedly I used to use some planks to keep the pumpkins from falling out. I even have my little trapdoor right here. Now, I probably should be going to bed about now. So I am actually going to AFK. Now I'm also going to kind of explain how this functions, because I feel like not enough people actually do that. Essentially, you have an observer. The observer needs to observe this. And what happens is, when this grows a pumpkin, it has a state change, because then it creeps over to wherever the pumpkin is, and because of that, observer can see block changes, which then is sends a redstone signal into the note block. The note block then can transfer it to the redstone dust, and when the note block activates the redstone dust, the piston then fires. Hello and welcome back. It's the next day. So I left this on while I was doing my job, and it keeps stopping randomly, like right here. I did have 3 powered rails, if you remember from before. I went ahead and removed that, and instead I also put a pair of powered rail right here. I moved 3 over here, and it seems to be going fine. Now, I covered this with glass because initially when I saw it was stopped right there, I also saw a bat flying around inside there, so I thought the bat stopped it, but I did that this morning, came back, and it's still stopped right there when I got back. And one of the pumpkins was also like kind of bugged, so it had like, it was rotated like it was holding a thing. I fixed it. Kind of like this one actually, but it was that one. Anyways, so I just found that if you right click it, it fixes it. But just to note, because maybe that's why the minecart is stopping, is because it's just a bug from having it loaded so long, is what I'm guessing. Anyways, we did get plenty of pumpkins though, some melons also, and we also found a lot of just pillager captains sitting around the village. So we went ahead and got some bottles. Now I'm going to go ahead and probably trade up with some villagers. My gear is pretty bad right now. And I do have a lot of ominous bottles, so I'm thinking about doing a raid, actually. I might even do the raid before I do this, just so that way I get better deals on all of the stuff I trade. So, I'm just going to stow all of this in here. We'll go through the weakness bottles and golden apples. I'm going to go ahead and try enchanting, and I'll be back when I get like a decent enchanted sword. And I also want to have an entire new set of gear, because this stuff is about to break on me. So I'll be back in a momento. Okay, so it's the next day, and I have the gear already set up, kind of. I just need to make the enchantment table. I believe I said I'm going to do a raid, so that's indeed what I am going to do. And I guess I'll try and make some bookshelves and stuff, and I'll be back. Hello, everybody. I went ahead and I got some potions for me, some strength 1, strength 2, instant healing, and speed potions. I also got 3 shields and did enchant my sword to sharpness 3, got a chestplate to protection 3, and my boots to protection 4. I ended up combining my pants and my helmet with my previous pants and helmet, and I also got a power 2 bow. So I'm pretty sure I'm all sorts of set to go ahead and do all of that. Now, another thing I should note is I also found a mending villager. 10. Just 10. Which is fantastic. Now, it's about time we should start the raid. I'm going to organize my inventory just a little bit. No, wait, hold on. We want strength 2. And we'll go put a bucket of water right where this ominous bottle is, and let's get to it. Alright. Okay, a raid is going to start in about a little bit. I forgot they changed it so it doesn't do it instantly. So, good for us, I guess, maybe, that we were planning on making. Alright, which one's strength 2? That one is this one.
Fun fact, until they get close enough to the village, they basically will just straight up not even care about you. And then they get close enough and then they start attacking you. So as long as you rush them before they can rush you, you don't actually really have to deal with them too much. Where's the last guy? Should probably have brought a bell with me. Oh my god, where's this guy going? Oh, okay, he's shot now. This should hit right now, okay, move. Oh my god, where are you going? Someone's going time. Why are you running? Yeah, I'm just gonna now, if we can get the witch to splash me with regen, I won't mind. There we go. Where are they going? Like, genuinely, sometimes their pathing makes no sense. Yeah, I'm trying to take out as many as I can before they get too close to the village. Should be prioritizing taking out Vindicators since they do so much damage on hard difficulty, can disable my shield, and are just menaces to society. There we go. Got some regen. There's a lot of zombies. Let's just ignore them. I thought I saw a evoker, but I don't see one anymore. Oh my gosh, stop skeleton. Okay, he's gonna be too close. I really hope they can't break the doors. I know zombies can't. It looks like something opened the door. It might have been me. I might have forgotten to close it. How the heck did he get up there? I do not know. You're kidding. Stop moving. Okay, that should be the last of him. Yeah, let's take out all of the Vindicators, Evokers while we can. And the witches, when you do hit them, will try and fight back, but most of these guys will not. I believe the Evokers are the same way, so... And the Ravagers attack you, period. That is right. Okay, we got a Vindicator down here, I'm pretty sure... Never mind, I lied. I thought he was going to be hostile. Shoot. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave that as a bad thing, because that means they got in somehow. They can break the doors. Shoot. Frick. An iron golem died, heroically saving my villagers. Problem is I have no clue if any of my villagers even died. I am not even going to be checking right now, because I don't want to know. Yep, when you attack them, even if they don't get close enough to the village, they will spawn things. Oh my gosh. Bow and accuracy really hated me right there. Well then. Wow, he is running. Oh, okay, so Vexes do a lot of damage still. Way more than they should be able to. And I do not know what the last raider is, but since it's a smaller wave, I would assume it was a Ravager. Huh. Interesting. Oh, Iron Golems actually take out Vexes. That's nice. But Vexes don't attack villagers, right? Admittedly, if Vexes did attack villagers, it would be the most unfair way to lose your villagers ever, honestly. Up, they spawned. No. Bad. Same to you. Bad. Oh my... I can't run for some reason. Wasn't letting me run there for a second. You know, I should have made instant homing arrows, but then I just remembered you need lingering potions for that. Oh, nope, nope, nope. Whew, just dodged that. Oh my gosh, stop with all the thorns. Okay, I'm gonna try and snipe him. There it is. Oh, nope. I'm just going to temporarily do that. Vexes are the most annoying ever, believe me. Yep, that was strength 2. Yeah, I can understand why everybody hates Vexes. I think most people's problem is they do actually try and fight them. Which I feel like is one of the last things you should do, since they do just die over time. And that should be the raid. Yeah. Well, I'm extremely happy I made the potions. Otherwise, I would be in a heap of trouble. I have lots of totems and goodies to trade. Oh no! My armor died. Okay, my weaponsmith, which is honestly the one I probably would have killed the least amount if he died, is still alive. But my armor, which honestly giving me projectile protection 4 was, it's honestly kind of goated. He died out of all people, which disappoints me immensely. Pretty crazy. Some mending books up my wazoo. Mending for 3 emerald? I think you just lost your mind. You're like so generous. Trying to see if I can get it to go below 23. There we go, 22. And we'll take 22. There we go. We have some in my inventory already. Mason. Make more emeralds. So I would say the raid was pretty successful. We made some passive pumpkins over time while the raid was going on, but more importantly, we got an entire chest worth of mending books. 1 protection 3 book, just so that way we can make our chestplate protection 4. We got some totems of undying, in fact there's still one back in that chest I believe. And we made almost 2 stacks of emeralds. Now currently I do have some temporary equipment on me, don't worry, we still have the diamond stuff. We also have tons of arrows left over and everything. But yeah, I would say this has been successful. I haven't even killed them yet, and I made so many levels during this raid. I didn't even know they could give you wheat seeds. But then we also have some of the spider drops, witch drops, and we even have a saddle that we can go ahead and tame a horse with now. So overall, I think that this was totally worth it. We even got some cakes, and I might do one again sometime shortly, maybe after I cure up all of the villagers so that way they have the highest discount they can. And then I'll think about doing it. Otherwise, we did lose our armor smith, the guy who works at the blast furnace, so sad about that. Otherwise, we do now have two different farmer villagers, so I can trade my pumpkins. And we are making some bank, honestly, all things considered. And, well, I guess that brings my total actually up a little bit more than I thought. And the mending villager is giving me mending books for like 2 emeralds, which is a crazy steal. I mean, if 10 to me is worth it, that is really worth it. It's such a crazy amount. And we can even throw glowstone, yeah. And then, I think I want to go tame a horse, so I will have a horse the next time you see me, and I might enchant some things with all my levels. Otherwise, I'll see you guys when I get all of that done. While I was enchanting, I got a Smite 4 sword. We have one... Okay. We have 1 wither skeleton skull. And, well, I should mention that when I started the series, I was already like 7 days, an entire week behind what the hermits were doing. And I said I might not be able to do it the first episode to get a beacon, but heck, I might just be able to do it now.
To save us all the time, I in fact did not get a single wither skeleton skull. I also didn't die or anything, but when I went down into the fortress, I kept finding wither skeletons. I got so many stone swords. I got like 5 stone swords, and zero amount of skulls. So then I kind of said screw it after spending about an hour trying to get a wither skeleton skull, and decided to instead turn my attention to getting villagers up and running and get looting. So that is now where we're going to be at. So there was some construction happening outside, so I had to mute my mic, and instead we're doing this. So essentially what's happening is I said, screw it, if I'm doing villagers, I'm making the trading hall. And thus I am mining out a bunch of stuff, getting everything situated, and I'm going to plan on moving the villagers over. I also plan on finishing the base and getting the base just overall set up. So, I am trying to make the villager trading hall, and I hope you guys enjoy my little jump cut time lapse. So, how do you guys think the base turned out? I think it turned out much better than I thought it was going to initially. Initially, I thought it was just like a block of wood, is kind of how I saw it. But now that I've stripped some logs, put all the fences in and such, I think it looks a lot better than it did. And, I think I'm happy to call this my base. I'm not usually one to build a lot, and thus I'm pretty proud of it, but let me know your thoughts down below. Now, for a little bit of context of what this clip is it's also still when construction was happening outside my house. The last clip took me maybe 30 minutes, around 30 minutes to record, to fix the entire base up, but this one is where I'm trying to make the villager trading hall, and mining this hole took so much longer than I thought it was going to take. This clip in its entirety is about an hour long, and I believe there's even a clip after this while I'm making the villager trading hall. But this is probably the reason, if when I release this I haven't actually made the villager trading hall yet, is because I decided to instead work on the base. Which is funny because I think I have done that so many times at this point, it's hard to keep count of them all. Well, hopefully you guys enjoy watching me mine slowly but surely through the hole. And if you're wondering, my Fortune 3 pickaxe is not broken, but I did in fact stop using it because it's really close to breaking. And now I also have a Silk Touch pickaxe that's made out of diamonds. I got a very lucky enchantment with efficiency 3, Unbreaking 3, and silk touch on it. So that's pretty nice. Well, I hope you guys enjoy watching the clip. So now instead I decided to use spruce instead of oak. Not only because it's easier for me to get, but that's definitely absolutely not the main reason. It's actually because I thought it would be more cool to have like the darker wood tone inside of like caves, which are usually, you know, darker aesthetic, darker ambient, stuff like that. So now I'm putting spruce instead of the oak, and I'm also planning on probably getting some deep slate and putting it as like blocks to give the spruce a little bit more oomph, I guess. I might even add some dark oak just to make it a little bit more pizzazzy, I guess. Have a couple of different types of wood tones in there and stuff. And I'm of course going to strip some of the logs, just so that way it, I guess, looks nice. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually mining where I'm planning on putting the villagers. The rest of it I'm probably going to put like farms and stuff, and I'm planning on having like different wings that go left and right and such, to have, you know, a melon and pumpkin farm to my right, carrot farm to my left, you know, so that way I have like a main central pathway through the middle of it. And that's kind of what my plan is for right now, is to have a pathway in the middle and just have the villagers be in one of the side zones. Now initially I did have this box, just one kind of the same as everything else, where it's a 10 by 10 area, but then I later decided that this was definitely not going to be enough for the amount of villagers I actually want, so I ended up mining out a little bit of a bigger area that you guys will see here in a second, where I'm planning on actually putting my villagers. Now I still need some dark oak, because I'm planning on having dark oak and deep slate and basically having that be the entire room. I'm also planning on having some soul lanterns inside of here to really give it that ambiance of darkness. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure still if I'm going to add that to this video or if I'm going to go ahead and just post this. So if I do just post this, then I hope you all have a good day and thank you for watching. So future me here, I finished mining out the hole and everything, and I can tell you now that this is in fact probably where the video is going to end, since I almost have 15 minutes of clip and I'm really trying to slim it down. I was actually planning initially to have the entire raid in there, like everything from the raid, maybe just clip out in between waves, but I found that kind of difficult, so I had to just speed up the clips and everything. I want to have these videos be about the same length as the Hermitcraft video, which is about 30 minutes to 40 minutes, but they have consistently been like an hour long, so yeah. Now, for right now, I do know what I kind of want to do for the build, and I might want some dripstone blocks, so I'm just placing dripstone like this, and if I'm not mistaken, dripstone does grow if you have it on a dripstone block. I'm not sure if you have to have water above it. I'm pretty sure if you have water above it, it doesn't grow, unless I'm mistaken. So, yeah, that's the end of the video. Have a good day, y'all.